Epi, my very, very, very beloved relatives of the human family. First of all, I want to give heartfelt, from the tip of my toes to the tip of my finger, thanksgiving to Prime Minister Stephen Harper and all his colleagues of the human family who, in their unawareness, in their greed, have awakened a spiritual sleeping giant. A spiritual sleeping giant everywhere on Mother Earth. You know, I had the opportunity to be with one of my grandfathers back in 1970. Line Deloria Sr. And he told me a story. He said that he was talking to this elder back, this is over 40-some years ago, and he loved to learn new words in English. And he said, he said, what are they talking about this word ecology? Ecology. And he tried to explain, he said, you know, they have these places, he said, where people go to learn about life. They learn how to read these things on a piece of paper, then they learn to write about what they read about, then they learn to talk about what they write about. And if they read enough and write enough and talk enough, finally 18, 20 years, they get a piece of paper that says they're a doctor of life. He said, then they send the best thinkers and the best talkers and the best readers, and they send them to these big places to study about Mother Earth, of course, laboratories. They go in there and they have things to look into, and things that are small. This thing makes them look big. They pour Mother Earth back and forth. They spent lots and lots and lots of money. And now they've come up to a very, very, very important scientific discovery. He said, you know what that is? The old man shook his head. They found out when you pollute the water, which all living things drink, you pollute all living things. They found out when you pollute the air, which pollute all living things, you pollute all living things. And he turned to the old man and says, what do you think about that? He said, oh, huh? He said, I was wondering when they get around to that. I was wondering when I get around to that. Look what we do, and look what was he looking forward to. We rip up her skin where it shouldn't be ripped up. Then we take things and drill holes inside of her and blow her bones up. Now that's fracking. Then we put things inside of her and suck her blood out. Then he turned to my grandfather and shook his finger and said, and what would happen if you did that to your mother? She'd die. That's exactly what's going to happen if we don't draw the line as others are drawing the line everywhere on Mother Earth. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Save Mother Earth now from this young man. Thank you. We'll put it right here. I'll give it to you later. Thank you so much. I want to share something that very few people are aware of yet that's occurring across the Dakotas, down through Nebraska, Oklahoma, into Montana, clear to Idaho. And that is, as the First Nations of Canada are rising everywhere to stand up with other members of the human family to stop the destruction of our Mother Earth and to bring and restore and protect the sacred, so across the Great Sioux Nation, which is on both sides of the United States and Canada, down across Nebraska, the land of the Pawnees and Ponkas, and down on through to the Pawnees into Oklahoma. There is a huge rising going on. Rising up to say, this pipeline under any circumstances shall not pass Keystone XL. It will not pass. So that could be, and that is right now, with all these different plans, these are plans and visions. The first one to come down, where we're really going to be tested, is Keystone XL. Right there, right across that border, and it's the coming together in unprecedented unified action of human beings. For instance, in Nebraska, they have Bowl, Nebraska, if you read about it. It's the farmers across Nebraska, spreading into South Dakota now, that are beginning to stand up and say, we don't want this taken across our lands. But at the same time, through eminent domain, they realize what they're facing. But, as we're finding in Canada, equally here in the United States, when you engage treaty rights, when you engage Indigenous peoples in their rights along with everybody else in their way, together, in unprecedented, unified, compassionate action, we can stop this everywhere. Everywhere. So I want you to remember the name Deborah Whiteplume. Moccasins on the ground. They're training now, right now at Pine Ridge. And I gotta tell you this from where this is happening. Standing Rock, Pine Ridge, Rosebud, all the way across the Huntwa, Yankton Sioux territory, Lower Brule, all across this whole territory this is happening. And these people are starving from this sequestration. In fact, they were starving before it happened. They don't care. What they care about is the future generations. They know that just like in a buffalo herd, the oldest buffaloes are on the outside, but wolf pack comes, they get their life first. So they are standing up. They Spotted Eagle, I want you to hear her name. The Braveheart Society, Society of Women who used to follow the men into battle and take the wounded and dead off the battlefield, and if it came down and there was no one left, they'd fight. They're leading this. Women are leading this everywhere. And I'll tell you what, brothers, just like this young person challenged all of us as parents about would they, are those that come after us look back and ask, what did your grandfather, and mother do? I have to say that young people are rising everywhere. Over half our population on this Mother Earth, over 7 billion people, are under 25 years old. So, last thing. On January 23rd, a great gathering was held on the Yankton Sioux Reservation to celebrate 150 years of an unbroken treaty, the first written treaty, although we made treaties way before other relatives came to this continent, to this hemisphere, between the Pawnee Nation and the Huntwa Dakota, saying we will have peace. So on that date, January 23rd, 2013, we celebrated 150 years of unbroken peace. 150 years where a treaty was not broken. And on the following 2 days later, we signed the international treaty, the International Indigenous Treaty to protect the tar sands, to protect the sacred tar sands projects. That treaty is being used as a foundation and has spread up to the great Tsleil-Waututh Nation, in which you heard Sundance Reuben George give such a beautiful talk. He always gives a great, beautiful talk. If you knew his mom and his family, they all speak well. All speak well. So it was signed there with the coast tribes there, nations in Vancouver. It was signed in Ottawa at the National Press Club with all our relatives from the chief, from the tar sands, and other Yiki-Dene Alliance, and we signed their agreements. So this is moving along, and now I believe the power that's going to stop it right here, because although we have to think globally, we have to stop here, and that is the movement that's going on between all the tribes, all the Salish nations, of which we're standing here, in Duwamish, Muckleshoot, other Salish people who lived here. An alliance is being built. An international treaty is being built to stop all this we're talking about across the Salish Sea. And everybody is invited to this great enterprise. So I thank 350.org, Bill McKibben for his great inspiration, and this growing movement, and I'm so thankful you've been so kind to invite me. Howard Michante Washtelo, Chukmano Hemedo, Chinukasaka Hemedo, Howard Michante Washte. And the most important message, where's this guy with the please come get your sign. Please give your sign. This is important. And what is your name?
Logan.
Logan, what do you have to say here?
Save Mother Earth.
Save Mother Earth.
Great.